Well, I don't even know how we're recording this because the internet is broken once again. And really, rather than to be here doing this with you, I honestly would rather be glued to TikTok waiting for this Blue Ivy Savage video that I know is dropping. I know it's coming. It might be out already.
I heard Blue Ivy wrote the song, or at least I know.
Very possible. She wrote at least one verse. I mean, she might have wrote the hook to begin with because it sounds very apropos and apt for Blue Ivy Carter.
Right.
Hi guys. This is the show. It's called The Chopping Block. I am Boogie.
And I am Scissor.
And I am tired of being in the house.
I am bored. I'm so bored.
Are you bored in the house? Bored in the house? Bored?
Yeah.
You're not bored enough for TikToks yet.
No, I'm not that bored yet.
You're not bored enough for House Party yet.
The movie or to have one?
No, the app.
Oh, no. See, I don't even know what that is.
See, I downloaded it and I haven't done anything on it, but it keeps telling me that my friends are on there. And then this week I got a bunch of new friend requests. And so it's an app, from what I can surmise. I really haven't played around in it that much. Like, you can do games. Like, you can play party games with a group of people. You can, it's Zoom for people who are not actually doing business shit. Of course, we know Facebook wasn't going to sit here and let everybody get their money like that. And so they launched Messenger and then launched a desktop version or, computer version of Messenger that allows you to chat with up to, I think, 8 people at a time now.
Wow.
I'm not doing any of that. I'm not even really binging TV like that anymore. I really don't know what the hell I've been doing other than working.
I've been glued to this chair. So that's all I know. Trying to be productive.
Well, I mean, but you're leading a whole real life, actual multi-layered production with Bounce Gang. And I saw you tagging people the other day, telling them to join in. And I was like, and here, it would be so dope if Sis had a platform where he could sit and talk about what this is for 10 minutes and tell people to pull up. Be amazing. So, yeah.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready.
But you were inviting people, so it has to be somewhat ready. Well, tell us what you're trying to do.
They're guinea pigs. So, just trying to create a platform where we can all get together, creatives, and share music, play music, vibe out, but also in a way where it's not a battle, and also in a way where the sound sounds really well.
Okay.
So we've been tweaking it. We figured out how to customize this whole situation so that it looks great on Instagram. And then we realized we just rather watch it other places. But we still got it, working on Instagram, but because it's where all you cool cats and kittens want to see it. So whatever.
So this happens when now?
Every Saturday at 5 Eastern.
And where is it?
Bounce Gang and iStander Instagram.
Only on Instagram?
Nope. It's also on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope.
And what is it called?
It is called The Pull Up.
So y'all heard that? It's called The Pull Up, presented by Bounce Gang. It happens on Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's early enough for you to pull up, get creative, get busy, play some music, and then log off, wash your ass, kiss your significant other, and pick your Instagram DJ for the night.
Exactly. That was our goal. We're not trying to get in the way of all these clout chasing events. We just want to have some fun with the homies, and then we can go watch the Teddy Rileys and those, the D Nices and all those people. Do
you know that I have yet to watch a DJ live stream in these whole 6-7 weeks, however long we've been in the house?
D Nice is on every night.
I know. I know he is. I know when people are on. I've been on long enough to catch maybe a song or two. I will share my friends, but this is always who I've been. Like, I will share the fact that, I know they're doing the groove on, and that's how I know it's been a whole month. It's time for the groove again. We're still in the house, so they're doing the groove on on Instagram Live. And for those of you who are not from Atlanta or don't live in Atlanta or don't follow the DJ Wally Sparks and work crew, the Groove is a monthly R&B only party that they've been doing here in Atlanta for, I want to say, 2 years. It might be three. It might be three, because I know I was on my way home from the Groove New Year's Eve party in New Year's Eve 2017 going into 2018. So I think it might have started. I want to say it started in 2017. Anyway, it's super dope. They've done it very consistently, monthly. It's always a good time. It's three different. It'll usually be a rotation of. Well, it's Wally Sparks, DJ Hourglass, Jeremy Avalon, and Xavier Black, who are all amazing DJs, and they all kind of have their own subcategory of R&B records that they'll play during the party. It's always great. And so now they've been doing it. They did one last month on Instagram Live, and they're doing another one tonight. I know where my friends are spinning. I know Just Blaze has finally gotten his whole little setup set up, and he played a record the other day that I meant to ask him about. It sounded like Marsha Ambrosius, and I went and looked it up, and the internet didn't know what I was talking about.
That's very possible, though. Marsha's got a secret stash of records.
And if anybody was going to have it, it would either be Just or Focus. Yeah, I forgot. I just remembered that I was supposed to ask Just to send me that record. I know when people be on, I'm maybe on the spectrum in some ways. I'm a weirdo about a lot of things. I take notes in multiple colors, and it's just been very, very challenging for me in my ADD brain to get into the idea of me having to listen to this music off of my computer speakers or me having to listen to it off of my phone. And if I'm watching you on Instagram Live, I can't switch to another screen.
Right.
So, it doesn't work for my life. But kudos to y'all out there jamming with the DJs.
D-Nice has been on every night since he got popular. And I'm starting to think that's not really D-Nice.
That's funny. Is it a clone?
It has to be.
He passes it off to people.
But not enough to still. I mean, trust me, every time I click that button, it's him. I've never seen the pass off. I always see D-Nice. And I'll go on there at 4 a.m. and he'll still be there with his little DJ set, got his mic. This one's dedicated to the lovers and you. You know what I mean? Who's paying him? He's not doing this for free.
He landed a Budweiser commercial. I don't know if you saw the new Budweiser commercial.
This man, I have not. It's sad. Wait, do we get to that point where our commercials are coming from live feeds?
So the new Budweiser commercial, what they did is they brought back the "What's Up" thing, and it's like Dwayne Wade calls Chris Bosh. Bosh calls some WNBA player whose name I do not know. Then they call someone else. Then somebody asks for Gabby, and she comes in and says the "What's Up" thing, and then D-Nice calls in. And I was like, you better get you a Budweiser check. I'm not mad at it.
But this man is DJing at least 10 hours a day, maybe 10, 12 hours a day, every day, nonstop. Somebody's giving this man a check. I did catch Ninth Wonder, and I really, really, really enjoyed this set. He did a nice little DJ set. And mainly because he played stuff that me being a mid-Atlantic child, was part of my child. He played go-go, and that took me back to my college years in North Carolina. And
nice.
My DC people. So that was dope. Ninth is a super dope DJ. I've been enjoying his sets for years. He's always been one of my favorite producer DJs. So yeah, that was cool.
So yeah, back to the only really music news that matters for this evening and where we should really just be focusing on. In case you have been in a Zoom meeting or D-Nice's feet. Well, no, I'm sure D-Nice dropped the record. I'm certain. Because DigiWax already sent it to me via email, but I'm sure Tidal sent it to him before they...
Hold on. DigiWax?
Sent it to me as an exclusive.
DigiWax still exists?
Yeah.
Shout to CL, man.
Shouts to CL, my homie. But yeah, no, they're always sending me shit, and they just sent me that record as an exclusive, and I was like, oh, okay. Megan Thee Stallion dropped the Savage remix featuring Beyonce. And, in case you had not surmised from the Carter's album, Beyonce is now a rapper and a singer. And y'all really can't front on her as a rapper. Not for real, for real. Not in comparison.
No, she
Not
got
even
flow.
just in general.
No, she can rap.
She can rap. I think that infamous "She Went Crazy" drop that Jay-Z dropped on 8 shit. I really think she went in and he had not heard the verse before, and she spit it, and that was genuine. That was a genuine reaction. And that's why he was so eager to do it in every city when they did the tour, because every city it was like, "Yo, watch this, yo, my nigga, watch this, watch what my girl about to do." In any case, Beyonce is rapping and singing on this Savage remix. And it is a true remix. Meg's verses are like the only thing that's the same is the hook. And even the hook has been augmented because there's certain parts where Beyonce's singing a little ad lib over the hook. And then in the last part of the song where they do the hook, she's actually saying it at the same time as Meg. So I hate to do this because I've already told y'all that I'm a fan of this nigga, but y'all remember how we were talking about how K Camp waited too late to do his lottery remix? He didn't do it too late. He just did it wrong.
Clearly.
This was the way to do it. This was the way to do it. And it's a great day for women in Houston in general because, the other news that was on girl music internet was how Lizzo was excited because Beyonce wished her a happy birthday. So I feel like that means Beyonce's about to drop a project, and I'm really hoping it's a rap project.
I'm here for it.
So no changes on the production. Shouts to Jay White did it.
I want to shout out my guy Bobby Sessions, who co-wrote the original and this with Megan. He is a friend of the fam, an artist. He's a rapper's rapper. He's a socially conscious brother from Dallas, Texas. Watch his journey probably since about 2015, 2016. Got signed to Def Jam. And yeah, he's got some great looks coming. So I made a tweet today and I said, dope rappers always find a way to end up in the mix, and I shouted out Sky Zoo and Pharoah Monch and all these other cats that have literally just their pen game has been all over stuff, even pop stuff and hits, and people don't really know too much about it. So, if Bobby Sessions never gets to be your favorite rapper, well, this nigga might have wrote one of your favorite songs. So there you go. Happy
Shouts to him. So let's talk about the fact that Beyonce as a rapper is clearly a student of Jay-Z in the timeliness of her verse. Again, if you were busy on House Party or, taking family screen break time with your kids and you didn't know, Beyonce's verse starts with her saying hips TikTok when I dance. She name dropped Demon Time, which is apparently some uber popular
adult stuff
that happens on Instagram after dark. She name dropped OnlyFans. She name dropped Ivy Park. My favorite line, because I partially heard it when I was listening to the song, but I thought she meant something different. But now that I'm reading it, I really, really enjoy it even more. The very last line at the end of Beyonce's first verse, which is the one where she's just straight up and down rapping, she said, and my mama was a savage nigga. I got this shit from Tina.
She did.
I thought she was making some kind of Meg reference because, Meg calls herself Tina Snow, which is homage to Pimp C. But no, she's talking about Tina Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
Here for it.
Mama. Hey, mama. How you doing?
This is why I'm waiting for the Blue Ivy TikTok video. I know it's coming. I'm very excited about this. Anyway, the song is dope. So that's beautiful too, because it would have been really, really sad if the song was whack.
Yeah, but it's definitely not.
So shouts to all those involved. In terms of writing, we have Jordan Thorpe, Stara, Bobby Sessions, Hove, of course, Derek Milano, Anthony White, Beyonce, and Meg. It was, of course, produced by Jay White Did It, as we said, and mixed by Eddie E. Mix Hernandez.
Shout out to KC. Jay White Did It. Jay White Did It is the go-to for dope lady bops.
Lady bops. And I am usually anti-lady bop, but this one, and we talked about this. Savage was one of the songs I said I wasn't crazy about on the EP originally. Because to me, it sounded too much like, I don't even remember what the other single was at this point because they've savaged me to death on TikTok. But, that's how good songs work. They play them until you fucking love them. Or you hate them, but they're stuck in your head and you're singing them anyway.
Well, for those who don't know, live under a box, Jay White also did a couple records for Cardi B. So
Yes, he did. So that Lady Bop thing is certified. This record's about to be out of here. When Outside opens back up in time for Labor Day, in time to close back down in the northern states, you're going to hear this song everywhere.
I just want to shout out all the producers who were like, I don't really like working with lady rappers.
I want to shout out all the men who told me forever ago that the reason why women rappers couldn't be successful is because they weren't marketable and they cost too much money.
Listen.
And then here you go with Nicki and all her wigs, Cardi and all her wigs, Meg and all her wigs and makeup. Because that was the thing they kept bringing back to me was like, oh, the glam, the outfits, the hair, and then they're a hassle, they're hard to work with, da 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 da. And now here you go.
Seriously.
Yeah. I remember having this conversation around when Shauna was popping. And then after Shauna, it was really, really quiet for a minute before Nicki got mainstream fame. I don't even remember what female rapper people were really talking about. Eve popped in and popped out. Yeah, but for years, every time I would ask men, why you think women rappers don't blow up, this would be the reasoning that I got. That it's hard to market, that it's too expensive, that they're difficult to work with, and men don't want to listen to a woman rap, especially now that she's talking about nigga shit.
That's the one I used to always get, and that just made me. Well, first of all, I knew I lived in a misogynist, sexist world, and even being in New York in 2007, being around Rem, people that rolled with us and that were around us were still like, I really don't listen to female rappers. I just mess with Rem because she cool, and it's just like, what?
That doesn't even make sense, sir. So let's look at the Billboard charts right quick for last week. The Weeknd's still up there with that album that I haven't listened to yet. Well, actually, no, this isn't even albums. We talking about songs.
Mm-hmm.
Blinding Lights still at the very top for the fourth week in a row. And it's ruling the radio charts, which is hilarious to me because when was the last time you turned on the radio?
I don't even know. I forgot they were there.
I totally forgot they were there.
I don't even think people listen to the radio when they get in their cars anymore like that.
Some people do.
Some do, but it's with Bluetooth and satellite. I mean, a couple people do, but I just feel like people, as cars and newer models, or 2010 and beyond cars, people are a lot less likely to just rely on the radio. There are other
definitely
options.
Now, I will say that, even I've listened to the radio on an app. I've gotten in my car and turned on the Breakfast Club on the iHeartRadio app.
Yeah.
Because, the iHeart hip hop station here in Atlanta has a very, very limited range. So I have done that before. Anyway, so The Weeknd is still the top of that chart. The Baby is on there this week. Tootsie Slide is still at number 2 after debuting at number 1 on the Hot 100 a week ago. The Box is still at number 3.
Still holding on.
11 weeks later. Dua Lipa has a song called Don't Start Now that I could not hum if my life depended on it. And Doja Cat is at number 5.
With a song that was almost dead.
With a song that was almost dead. Thank you, TikTok.
Yeah, I don't think people really understand that. These songs are popular because of TikTok.
Yeah. I heard Don't Rush on the radio in Atlanta. Atlanta is not very quick to add international music to mainstream airplay.
They don't even know it's international music, probably.
No, they know, but they just don't know the difference. They just don't know that it's not reggae. That's where they do.
That's what I mean. I mean, they don't know it's international music. They just think it's some guy from the East Side.
Right. Stupid. But yeah, they actually added that to the radio, and not even to because V103 here in Atlanta actually launched a secondary station. I forget what they call those, but how they have the HD stations.
Mm-hmm.
They launched an international HD station. I heard this on Hot 107.9, which is the Bugetto station in Atlanta.
Is that what it is?
I mean, it's not as ratchet as Streets 94.5.
Is that the Phipps? The Phipps of radio?
No. V is Phipps. Hot 107.9 is Lennox.
Okay.
Streets 94.5 is Greenbrier. Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all.
South Cab, huh?
Shouts to Young Jock over there at South DeKalb Mall Radio. It's so mean. All right. So while, all these companies are talking about closing and a lot of people have had to do cuts, we're starting to see that change a little bit on the music side of things. SiriusXM announced today they're launching stations with exclusive content for David Bowie, the Eagles, Led Zeppelin, Prince, and Rolling Stones, which means somebody had to be paid to program that shit. They're also doing limited engagement stations for George Strait, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses. Is this all one station? No, these are all individual
channels.
Stations. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's going to be like a Pandora, but on Sirius.
Mm-hmm. See how that works out when you partner with the right partner?
You need a DMX one.
We do need a DMX one. So in case you didn't know, Sirius has been allowing people to stream for free, I think, since the beginning of, New York at least being sheltered in place. And so now they've extended that and you can stream SiriusXM for free until May 31st.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Which
is great for me because I had a subscription that definitely was supposed to start charging me last month. And this is why they haven't.
I just steal my dad's.
Nice. Yo, true story. I could not name you a George Strait song either. I guess he has a song called All My Exes Live in Texas.
All My Exes Live in Texas.
And I only know that because of Drake.
You don't know the song?
No, I only know that because Drake said it in a song.
Oh, but you don't actually know the song?
No. I'm an immigrant's kid.
Really good song.
This week marked the 25th anniversary of The Infamous by Mobb Deep.
Temperatures rising. That was a good one.
They dropped a 25th anniversary edition of the project. Shouts to my boy Alex Gale, who is a phenomenal writer and wrote some really, really good content to go along with the project. First time I heard this album was not in Orlando, Florida, where I was when it was released. It was in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Shouts to my cousin Vlad.
Wow.
Who put me on the Hell on Earth.
Did he put you on the Juvenile Hell, though?
I think he played the whole album, but, Hell on Earth is what, stuck out.
No, Juvenile Hell was their first.
The first album. No,
first album.
Yeah. He did not have that. He had this album. So if you are a Mobb Deep fan, there's a bunch of really dope content that was, if you're that big of a fan, then you knew this before I told you this. But if you're a Cursory fan, or if you, again, just your internet, I'm realizing that people's internet experiences are very, very different right now because, for example, I'm online all day and I'm looking at the internet all day for work and I'm looking at entertainment news for work, but I miss out on a lot of shit.
Right.
Some people are just binging any and everything. Some people are Zooming, Skyping their friends to death. So, well, not to death. Poor choice of words, considering everything. But there's a bunch of really, really dope content around the release of the project. Havoc did a few interviews. So go check that out. The internet was also blessed this week with Mac Miller's Kids mixtape from 2010. It is finally available to stream as of yesterday if you're listening to the show on Thursday when we dropped it, because you're a super fan and you love us. Tell us about this Mac Miller mixtape.
So yeah, Mac Miller's 2010 mixtape Kids is back. It hit all streaming platforms. It was his fourth mixtape. And it came out on Rostrum Records. I remember it because it was super dope. It had joints like Nikes on My Feet, which was my shit, and La 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 was my joint too. This follows this wave of re-releasing material, like that Drake did, and mixtapes that were out. It's missing a few cuts, maybe because of sample clearances or something like that. But yeah, this was, for Mac Miller fans, this was iconic. And if you don't know Mac Miller, this is a perfect place to start. So shout out to the Rostrum homies. Pittsburgh.
That is very dope to give to the fans. Oh shoot! I forgot what we were talking about. Just people kind of kicking back into gear. We just found out that Sony ATV opened an office in Atlanta.
Yes, they did.
Hooray! Cheap real estate.
Oh, actually, they're renting from Tricky Stewart.
Nice.
So
Hooray! Black ownership.
there you go. Yeah, they're renting Tricky's building. He still owns it, and it's good to see them in town. You know.
So for those of you who are too young to remember Michelangelo, um, once upon a time, all the labels had offices in Atlanta, like legit offices with, buildings and like the same level of security as when you go to these offices in New York and ANRs and, regional reps. And that was a thing until I want to say maybe 2008, the last time the market crashed.
Yes.
That sound about right to you?
Wait. Yeah.
Warner and Atlantic had an office over there off of West Peachtree.
No, I feel like they still had them afterwards. I feel like this was the only place that was doing well after all that mess.
Okay.
Yeah, because the whole Block Entertainment, Shakir, the whole Jay-Z is president, that happened kind of.
That was 05.
Was that 05?
Yeah. Jay was president of Def Jam, signed Jeezy and Rick Ross around 04 when I moved here. Block Entertainment, Bad Boy South was around the same time, 06-ish was when that 05, no, 04, 05 was when that Block, that Boys in the Hood album dropped.
So I'm trying to think when I came to my first A3C. When I came to my first A3C, I believe Atlantic was still here.
Yeah, Atlantic had an office. Atlantic was the last of the Mohicans in terms of that. Well, Warner rather, because it was both of them in the same building on the same floor.
Right. Yeah, Atlantic stuck around because Atlantic really had the most success, and I remember that was during like 2008, 2009, 2010. That was like the Ozone years. That was like TJ's DJs was really prominent. Like I feel like there was still a label presence here. A couple people probably bailed out because of their financial situation back home, but that was really also a lot of the time when things actually transferred even more to the South as far as like ownership of the art. 2008, like that hit New York harder than anybody. That's when a lot of people packed up and went west.
Right. Well, see, and that's what happened here too, is it wasn't necessarily the business people. The business people here in Atlanta, and I've told a lot of people this, for a very long time, the only people I knew in Atlanta who were getting serious serious music industry checks were still flying to New York and LA to go pick up those checks, if you know what I mean. Like those people were still, the majority of their, not the majority of their time, but a good chunk of their time was either in New York or in LA. Mm-hmm. And I used to always say that if those people would demand that the business be conducted on their turf, that they would position everybody else around them better. Because, the producers are fine, but the artists are struggling, the journalists are struggling, everybody else around that was struggling. And what ended up happening is, I want to say around 2014, 2015 is when you started seeing a lot of really dope creators from Atlanta just leave. Mm. Like Mariba was here, she bounced. What is my boy's name? Like I'm blanking on a bunch of people, but Atlanta had this whole really, really cool indie up and coming community that I've mentioned here before because, anytime we talk about Earth Gang and JID, I talk about them. Like they were part of that same wave, 2-9, OG Mako, because I always mess up his name. All those kids were coming up around the same time, and a good chunk of that community of artists left and went to LA or went to New York because they didn't have the infrastructure to support them here. So, cheers to Sony ATV. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. Haha.
So, do you think this is going to start a revolution? Are people coming back this way?
I really don't know because nobody really knows what to do right now. You know what I mean? I'm certain that this whole Sony ATV thing was something that was already in the works before Corona. I also feel like if I lived in New York right now, I might be shook and I might be thinking about like, do I really want to be around 12 million people at all times? Or, do I want to be somewhere where there's a little bit more space?
Right.
So I'm not sure if this is going to push people back down here. What I do know is, Spotify has an office here. Pandora's hip hop department is here in Atlanta.
TuneCore is here.
TuneCore is here. YouTube's been doing a lot of stuff in the city. Who else? There's one other entity that I know made it a point to establish a presence here in Atlanta. So I think that we're finally getting to that point where people are really understanding that it does make more sense for them to come here where the talent is than to have the talent go to them.
What I'm hoping is that that Sony can help usher in a connection between media and music, because I think that's the biggest disconnect. And this is your job, this is your area of expertise, so you can speak to this a lot more than me. But from what I see, even now, like everything media wise, the promo and the press runs and all that stuff, it always runs back through New York and LA. I feel like if those things were really here, we have all this film and TV here in the city. We've got Turner, we've got NBA TV, we've got all these great things. If we could only have some of that stuff geared towards music, I think we'd be straight.
Right. And in a meaningful way, not, in a pandering way, not as an aside, not just, and no shade to anybody, but not just because they're using our sound beds on the news broadcast or because we have cool ass traffic reporters that can quote Mobb Deep and Biggie. But like, really, I think it's dope as fuck that we have that, but like, let's really be intentional about the support that we give, the music community.
Right.
Atlanta. All right. So, along with the business announcements, we have a bunch of people talking about dropping projects. I was going to say, I'm going to start with the one that least people are checking for and go. All right. Tiana Taylor has been working on music. She took over Red Bull Music's Instagram last week. And she did a viewing party for her new documentary called Assembly Required, Tiana Taylor's House of Petunia. And then she did a Q&A and she told the good folks that her album is ready.
Cool.
Is Good Music still a label?
Yep. Did we talk about Kanye being a billionaire?
We're not talking about Kanye.
Okay. I'm completely fine with that, but I just wondered.
No. Because like I really, especially now when he had to pull like a whole you remember Mad Max from Tiny Toons?
Yep.
That's what I pictured that whole scenario between him and Forbes looking like.
Oh, completely. It was completely a, hey guys, look, I did this. Why y'all not reporting about this? Because clearly it's a conspiracy. People have bought into the Kanye conspiracy. Now it's just poor Kanye. We're just all picking on Kanye. So what else?
But somehow Tiana Taylor has found the support, the label support to drop another project.
Well, because she didn't get out the one she wanted originally.
Oh Jesus, I don't know. That's why I asked the question as to whether or not there's still a label, because I feel like I know Steven Victor bounced. I feel like Pusha maybe distanced himself.
No, he's still right there.
Okay. Is Nas still over there?
No, I don't think he was ever actually over there. He's with Massive Pill.
Oh yeah, that's right. He co-owns Massive Pill, so he can't really go nowhere else.
Yeah, he just did that project with Kanye, which he regrets. So this one's gonna be with Hit Boy.
So yeah, he's talking about a new project called Nasir
2, perhaps. Is that the rumor?
Is that what it is?
No, it said it's top secret. So.
No, there's 2 projects. There's one with Hit Boy, and then there's something else that he's y'all getting ready to get some Nas music. If you want like the full details of that, basically what happened was that they hosted a Hip Hop Loves New York YouTube event that was hosted by Ralph McDaniels.
Hey.
And featured performances by Naughty by Nature and Chuck D and everybody and their mama that you can imagine.
So for our listeners who aren't familiar, Ralph McDaniels, of Video Music Box, which is a super big deal in the New York tri-state area. He's legendary dude.
Back when there was no BET or Rhapsody, and this was pretty much like everywhere else in the country had the box, which was just that kind of dial in, you can call and request your music or whatever. But Ralph McDaniels was basically hosting a hip hop TV show on local community television in New York, and it's legendary. And a lot of your favorites got their breaks there. So if you go to Hip Hop DX's Instagram or to the Underground Hip Hop Museum's Instagram, UHH Museum, at UHH Museum, you can find the full Nas interview where he talks about the one he's working on with Hit Boy and the other joint that's top secret. And then Chris Brown is apparently working on a project with Young Thug. It's called Slime and B, and I'm already uninterested.
I'm interested.
It's coming out on Cinco de Mayo. Yes, Cinco de Mayo fell on a Tuesday, and y'all can't go get your tacos and tequilas on nowhere but in the house. Except in Georgia.
Oh, they can. Listen, let's just be honest. Some of us don't want to die and don't want to kill people, but a lot of us don't give a damn. A lot of people are out here at the beach. A lot of people out here partying, doing all kind of stuff. So, we're just advising you to do what we think, but everybody's not doing it.
I advise you to stay home and make your own damn tacos and your own damn tequila. If you're in Atlanta, there's a restaurant called Bar Taco. Bar Taco will actually sell you a margarita kit for $8. It makes 4 margaritas. All you got to do is add tequila to it. If you don't have the makings of a margarita at your house, that's one way to do it. And $8 for 4 margaritas is really not that bad.
I love Bar Taco.
I just remembered that I have a little, margarita concoction that I can just pop in the freezer on Tuesday morning, and it'll be ready for me to. Damn, I gotta drive somewhere on Wednesday morning. Never mind. All right. Anyway, Slime and B. If you don't understand what that title means, I'm not gonna be the one to
Nah.
to lead you astray. But it comes out like Chris Brown's Instagram said, on the 5th day of the 5th month. So you'll have that to look forward to.
Chris Brown is not the slime. I'll just say that.
But I mean, it's Slime and B, which is the same. Anyway, not trying to get deported. All right, and this week, as the verses turn, I've lost interest. Diddy allegedly told Fat Joe that there's going to be a battle between him and Dr. Dre.
He did.
That battle that you and I were talking about last week.
Yep.
Nobody's actually confirmed that for real.
At all.
Although Dr. Dre did apparently call into joined Teddy Riley's live. I don't even know how that works. But
do we want to confirm it? You want to try?
I'm trying to think who. Yeah, we could actually. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can before we finish recording the show, even.
Yep, maybe we can.
Maybe we can. So we don't know if that's confirmed. I heard something about Jermaine Dupri. Is that also just a rumor?
It's a lot of chatter about who's going next. Nothing's really put out there.
Well, what's confirmed is Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia, but it's not all of Bone Thugs, obviously, because niggas is quarantined. It's just going to be Crazy Bone, because obviously he's the only one that's ever been really consistent about wanting money, and DJ Paul. And that reminded me that DJ Paul versus Manny Fresh really was the battle that we actually deserved.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. But instead, it's now gone from producers and songwriters to rappers to somebody actually saying to me, or not to me, somebody actually said on Facebook, because I guess somebody asked Erykah Badu who would win in a battle between her and Lauryn Hill, and she, did the respectable thing and said Lauren would smoke her.
What kind of battle? What was the battle?
The same 20 hits. Put up 20 hits.
Can she play Fuji stuff?
This is what. So listen. So somebody posted this on Facebook, and one of his friends jumped in and was like, "I mean, Lauren has the catalog for it." And I was like, "I'm sorry."
How many songs was on her one album? How many songs was on her one album?
And then he was like, "Well, she dropped it. Well, you should go back and listen to her Unplugged." First of all, my nigga, I know she dropped the Unplugged. That's still 2. Erykah's got 4, plus a live that had new music on it, plus a mixtape, plus a gang of features. How does Lauryn Hill win this battle?
Listen, that Unplugged was her doing the most unmusical versions of her hits.
That Unplugged was a combination of her trying to prove to my cousin who shall remain unnamed that she could survive without him, and a live mental breakdown.
I'm gonna pass.
Huh?
I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm just gonna say I don't. She's got the miseducation, and that's it.
That's really it.
That's it.
That's really, really it. I don't even think that well, no, she's got maybe no, even the song she did with Common. I don't know that any of you who would advocate for this can really truly name a Lauryn Hill song that's not off of Miseducation.
Or the Fugees.
Or the Fugees. And some of y'all niggas sure as hell don't know the first Fugees album.
No, they have no idea.
So, yeah. I don't know. I need everybody to go back outside just so I can stop doing these versus battles. I'm over it. I don't know what could they possibly present to you at this point that would make you excited? Like, what would it be? Pharrell versus Kanye? Or Neptunes versus Kanye, rather?
I don't want to see Kanye on anything. First of all, I don't think his ego can handle it.
Not anymore.
He would completely ruin it. Like, it couldn't even be fun. Because it wouldn't be, like, in good fun. He'd throw, like, a tantrum or a fit. Like, he'd really be like, scorecards. Who won? I know I won. I did this. I did that. Like, he would just completely make it about everything other than what it's supposed to be about. These are supposed to be respectful, fun. They're supposed to showcase catalogs. Yes, they are competitive, but they're supposed to be about the love. I just feel like he would completely ruin it. So.
You're right. So, okay, what producer matchup would get you excited about versus again? This Diddy and Dre, would that do it?
Yes, I would be here for that. Okay. I mean, there's a bunch I'd be here for. I just feel like, here's what's funny. DJ Drama said nobody wants smoke with him on a mixtape battle.
Oh wait, that just reminded me that I have the Tony Touch doo-wop battle to look forward to.
Ah.
I take all that shit back. I'm looking forward to that. Drama, I don't know, friend.
So let's put it in perspective, because he's talking about Gangsta Grills. So he's talking about
Trap or Die and Dedication.
Well,
let's keep it up.
But not just. You got Down with the King. You got In My Mind. Pharrell. Like, he did a lot of iconic Gangsta Grill mixtapes. A lot. Like, that was a point where
I worked with them during that time.
And that was the point where mixtapes were our main point of consumption for music, because that's all we fucking had. Really, when nobody buying albums, it was either bootlegs or mixtapes. So I don't know. I don't know another DJ with a series of mixtapes that I would put up against him.
They're not in the South.
I'm even gonna go in. Well, I would say DJ Clue, and I'm talking about professionals, because shout out to K Slade, his albums were trash, and most of his stuff was just like stuff everybody else had.
And see, and that's the thing too, is I don't think that you can have a fair battle with Drama, because what Drama was doing with Gangsta Grills was a complete departure from what the mixtape era was at that time.
Oh, completely.
Because at that time, people were still doing just regular mixtapes where it was a bunch of freestyles. It might be some new joints. It might be a couple of exclusive records or whatever. But it wasn't it wasn't a mini album. It wasn't an EP. It wasn't what you guys have come to know now, which is how we got to the point. It's a part of how we got to the point where artists just bypass the DJ and put the quote unquote mixtape out by themselves. That Separate but Equal is still one of my favorite things ever, though.
That was a moment. That was a moment, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess, you know, in their era, what they did is unparalleled. And other people tried to do it, you know, it didn't hit the same. Because you had to get a Gangsta Grills. Like, that was, if you were a rapper, that was your goal in life, was to get a Gangsta Grills.
Right. You're right about that. All right, well, you know, we got Doo Wop and Tony Touch coming next week, is it?
I was going to say John P. Key and Hezekiah Walker had a battle. And it was the most civil in the comments battle I've seen.
Really?
But those guys are a whole production by themselves.
How many people on that live?
It was in the tens of thousands.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was in the tens of thousands. I don't remember what the peak was, but it was definitely in the tens of thousands. It was, you know, that church world is pretty big, and those guys are like it. It was kind of like an old school versus new school, whatever. The sound was trash, absolutely terrible, just like every other battle.
No.
So
that makes me very sad.
But the arrangements were great, and so were the hand movements.
The hand movements?
Yeah, you know.
Lord.
Chewing up the sopranos, and
yes,
there's all kind of things going on.
How I do when I listen to Clark Sisters in the house by myself. Okay, so random factoid, since we managed to go this far without even talking about COVID-19 or a pandemic, for real. Did you know that Post Malone did a
Nirvana tribute
concert?
Did I know? I watched it.
Oh. Well, he's apparently raised $800,000 for the United Nations.
Yeah. Posty was on YouTube live because he's smart, and he had a full jam session. He set up in his kitchen or wherever. He had the mic stand. He had the guitar. It was lit.
There's a bar behind him.
Yeah, he was in a crib. Looks like a nice little den setup or whatever. But no, it was pretty lit. It was definitely pretty lit. Yeah, and he raised some cash, man.
$800,000. So shout out to him for that. All right, you guys, this is the Chopping Block Podcast. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is the audio iteration of the two most popular segments on iStandardProducers.com. One is our credit check section, which is the most comprehensive listing of album credits that you'll find on these here interwebs, as long as we're able to get to them. But if we know who played whatever they played on whatever project, even down to the triangle player, we will list it. And the Chopping Block, which is our track by track review of albums, which we haven't done in a while, because I'm not going to say anything shady. We just haven't. And naturally, since Sis and I cannot sit here and go through every song track by track for you, we've come up with this mishmash of a situation that gives you kind of the best of both worlds. And right here, the way that I just promoted our show, I could have been promoting whatever the hell you've got going on with your life.
We'd love to be a part of your movement.
All right. So I don't know what TDE is cooking up, but we got 3 new TDE records this week.
Well, they're letting stuff out the vault for sure.
Is that what it is? Well, no, because at least one of these is new, because Nick Grant ain't been hanging out with TDE for too long.
Well, I mean, they're letting people put out music.
Okay.
You know, TDE was kind of like, nope, you're not, nope, don't do it, nope, unless we say. So now it's kind of like, okay, cool, let's release some stuff.
So last week we got a freestyle from Absol. This week, and you know what's really funny? I just thought about it in my head. For whatever reason, no, maybe it's right. Never mind. I was gonna say, I think in my head I have Absol confused with somebody else. Like, I know who he is, but in my head when I picture him, I picture somebody different, because he just doesn't look like what I would want him to look like. Let me just confirm that and make sure I'm not crazy. Anyway, so we got a freestyle from Absol last week. This week we've got a new song by Punch himself.
Yep.
Featuring my homie Nick Grant and your homie Lyric Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a new song by Sir. The Punch joint is called Pay No Attention to the Man Behind the Curtains.
Lyric Michelle is also from Houston. H-Town is winning.
H-Town women are winning this week, or in general. And then Punch refers to TDE as the new and improved
Death Row.
Death Row. Y'all niggas talk real crazy when Sugar's where he's at.
Well, then he's also got a little clip from Snoop talking too. So.
Oh, nice. I mean, I'm sure that it's not meant as any form of disrespect whatsoever, and nobody should even take it like that. And that was just, a joke.
Here's the truth about Death Row. Nobody would come to defend it right now. Not even the people that were in it. It was a thing. It happened. We know the talent that came out of it, but we also know the toxic nature of it. We also know that it was complete trash. And I've always looked at TDE as the new and improved Death Row.
If Death Row would have been what Death Row should have been to begin with, maybe.
Right.
Then Sir dropped the joint called Rapper Weed featuring Boogie. And when Boogie came in and started rapping, I realized just how much I appreciate Boogie's voice as a rapper. I really, really do. Not just because we have the same name. And then Lance Skywalker dropped the new joint as well. And then Sir dropped another joint just by himself. He dropped a video for a song called John Redcorn, which the video is actually a play on King of the Hill because John Redcorn was a character from King of the Hill, right?
Yep, and there's a nice little cover of all of them in the same style as King of the Hill.
Nice. So I don't know what TDE is, or if TDE is cooking up anything else, or if it's just like, hey, we're all in the house board, so let's just go ahead and put this out anyway. Meanwhile, the West Coast is just active. Problem just dropped a new joint. Reason just dropped a new joint.
Mm-hmm.
Songs, that is, not projects, but a ton of good music out there for you. One really cool thing that popped up on my timeline that I didn't get a chance to check out is apparently Travis Scott and Scott Mescudi, aka Kid Cudi.
They are the Scotts.
Are they the Scotts, or is the song called The Scotts?
No, they're also the Scotts.
The fact that the song and the group are called the same thing gives me a very little kid cartoon moment. That's what I expect. I expect the song to sound like a Bubble Guppy song now. That's what I feel like it's going to sound like. So y'all go check that out. It's called The Scotts by The Scotts.
And the way they premiered it was really dope. They did it inside of Fortnite.
Oh, that was one of the songs he did on Fortnite.
Yeah, well, they premiered the song inside of Fortnite. So basically there was you could see this Astro World-ish thing off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gave people a trigger. And shout to our favorite guy, Slade the Monster. He kind of mentioned it and said, hey, I saw something on Fortnite that looked like Travis Scott's about to drop a song. So
actually Travis Scott partnered with Fortnite and did a concert.
Yes.
He did a Fortnite. He actually did an Astro World thing inside of Fortnite.
Yes, and one of the songs that came out of it was this.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was super dope because my beef when we started this whole quarantine thing was, okay, but how are we making money and who's actually planning things?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really, really dope. And I think it had to have been extremely exciting because I feel like that's his target demo, are the kids who would have just been on there to find out about it anyway, because it wasn't announced, right?
No, it was not.
So that's very dope of them. Elsewhere in the new music world, I mean, really, we're just going to be listening to Beyonce and Meg on repeat. We're not, y'all. I'm going to listen to that song maybe it's moved 2 more times.
I listened to it about 3 or 4 times today. My shoulders were just moving. I don't like it.
I'm pretty sure I've just added. I'm adding it to, I have a playlist called Riot Girl. It's all my turn up girl songs, so it's going there, and it'll bring me joy just randomly on a shuffle. Lil Uzi Vert is still dropping new music. Jesus, I don't even know how.
Well, apparently, I mean, all those years, I mean, all that time that he didn't put anything out. They said he was working, so his engineer was in Philly, where she's not from. So, they're out there. They got the studio at Larry Gold or whatever they call it now, Milk Boy, booked out for him. So he's been doing stuff. So I
Okay.
guess we're getting all that music.
Well, he has a new song out called Sasuke.
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 Sasuke is a character from Naruto.
Sure, nerd. Whatever you tell me. I believe you.
Naruto is only one of the most popular anime of all
I
time.
mean, I know what Naruto is, bro. Like, I'm not, come on. I'm on this planet.
So how do you not know Sasuke? It's
I
his best
never watched Naruto, but
friend.
I didn't know it was pronounced Naruto and not Naruto, but
Well,
I know it's out there. Listen, let me tell you something. I have made it very, very far in life being somebody who knows just enough about just enough things.
pronunciations are here nor there. We just had that conversation about watches, remember?
Right. No, but I'm just saying, like, in general, knowing about Naruto or Naruto, knowing about, for example, I've never watched an episode of Dragon Ball Z, but I can make a Super Saiyan reference and it'll be accurate. Like, I know enough about enough things. This is how my life is. I know y'all love Akira. Anyway, Sasuke.
Wow. You are like in the wrong generation. We love
I,
you.
you don't love, like, just it's not something that's held in high regard anyway.
It's seen as a classic piece of art.
Right.
It's not
Nobody's out there watching Akira now.
I mean somebody is, but they're older. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like I guess like when you were in like the 80s, like that was like if you were like a teenager in the 80s, you know.
90s. We were teenagers in the 90s.
Yeah, but by that time it wasn't like Akira was like a classic piece of anime.
Okay.
Right? Like Lupin the Third, right? Which my anime heads know what I'm talking about. But like
I know what you tried me, bro. Like Lupin the Third wasn't just on damn Adult Swim. Like 10 years.
I'm talking about back in the day, like before it. Well, it used to come on like random like public access channels and shit.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. But I do know a little something. Anyway, I just didn't know what that was. So shouts to Uzi.
Sasuke, yeah.
Sasuke. All right. What else did I see out there? I saw Willie Kid on a feature with somebody named Ito, and just because the homie Willie Kid is on there, I'm gonna go check that out. Khalid and Disclosure have a song called Know Your Worth, and they just dropped a remix featuring Davido and Thames. Thames is, I want to say, also a Nigerian artist, but I don't want to lie. And yes, I know I'm on a computer, and I did not hit search to confirm.
Nope.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. Like, I feel like this week it just all finally fucking hit me, and I'm just tired. So my bad. And then Alicia Keys dropped a song called Good Job that I feel like was supposed to re-energize me and motivate me, and it just made me more tired and depressed.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's very strange. I think we talked about this before. For as much as I love Alicia Keys' second album, Diary of Alicia Keys, like I love that album, still listen to it and can mostly listen to it from front to back. I think like there's one song maybe that I skipped. I've been very generally disappointed by Alicia a lot since that album. So good job to her. No, that's messed up. But the song is called Good Job and it's out there and it's supposed to motivate you and inspire you. Because, you're out there being heroes to somebody and you don't get enough recognition. And Alicia wanted you to know that she sees you. So, Static Selector just released an unreleased, unheard Biggie record called Bastard Child that he produced.
It's a pretty big deal to be given an unheard Biggie verse.
Until 2020.
Right. I wonder where it came from. But as a huge Biggie fan, I'm happy to hear it. And, I'll listen to it. I wish I was more excited about it.
So I almost got excited when I listened to the first verse because the first verse fit the beat And I was like, oh shit, no, this is really a song that he's been sitting on.
Right. Yeah,
but then we got to the second verse.
And I'm like, oh, this sounds familiar.
And it doesn't even sound like the same era Biggie as on the first verse.
Right. It sounds like was on something completely different. So,
He went from a very mellow flow to that party and bullshit flow.
Right.
So, I don't know. It'll take I'm going to listen to it one more good time. Like, not to say that these mashup Biggie records have never worked, because like Dangerous MCs is still one of my favorite joints. The one they mashed up with him, Busta Rhymes and Snoop Dogg, back on that album that had y'all almost wanting to tar and feather one Sean Combs.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I was pretty
Born Again.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off.
But Dangerous MCs was kind of tough.
There was like 2 or 3 records on there that weren't that bad, but the majority of it was like, stop. Because a lot of it was like, are we going to redo this song, or a new version, or I don't know what year it was, 2008 version of whatever. Nah, stop. Like, if you don't have, it's cool. Like, we know Pac had 8 billion records that he recorded that was ready to go. We know Big didn't. So let's not try to make it what it wasn't.
I figured out what my mental TDE confusion is. And it's not because I don't know that they are 2 different people, not because I can't distinguish their music one from the other, but when I hear Absol's name, I see Schoolboy Q's face.
Really?
I don't know why. No, I do know why. It's because Schoolboy Q is always wearing that tie-dye shit, and he looks like a fucking hippie, and he looks like his name should be Absol.
Well, Absol looks like a homeless light-skinned dude who smokes a lot of weed.
He does. But every once in a while, he also looks like, like, I don't know, like Eazy-E on a store run.
Word.
So anyway, that's what it was. Because my brain is a very, very interesting place. A lot of new EPs dropped this week. I want to shout out Stalley specifically. He dropped Pariah. And, we listened to one of the joints from that album last week. And then I listened to the album itself. Generally, it was enjoyable. It was a very chill, very grown up, and a lot of times you can say those things about rap records and those are bad things because it also means that they're on the boring side. This wasn't that.
Was it dad rappish?
It wasn't dad rappish per se. It was cool uncle rap. Okay.
Grown man shit, I got you.
Yeah, it's like, the cool uncle who may also be a dad, but he's the cool uncle. He's the funkle more than he is like the dad. Felt like that. So, yeah, it's pretty good. So check that out. Apparently Terrace Martin dropped an EP called Conscious Conversations.
Really? When?
This was on the 24th, last Friday.
Oh, completely missed that one.
Completely missed that one.
I must have been too busy listening to Young Boy Never Broke Again.
Is that what you were doing?
No, not at all.
Right, exactly. 5 songs on this Terrace Martin joint. Each one featuring somebody. And except for the last track is called The Smile Within, and apparently that one is just him. The other features on here are Rhapsody, Nick Grant, Layla Hathaway, Rose Gold, Robert Glasper, Malaya, and Alex Isley.
Malaya?
Malaya. I don't know who that is.
How you spell it?
Malaya.
Wait, what? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Malaya.
Oh, okay.
But when I look that up, that's also what people from the Malaysia. No, not. No. Seriously, there's an area of Singapore called the Malay Peninsula. I wasn't making this up. I was looking dead at Google when I said it. And Malays are also an ethnic group of Malaysia.
Okay, that one makes sense.
But also the Malay island. Anyway, so there is a thing. Huh?
What was the EP called?
The EP is called Conscious Conversation. And the only Malaya that's a singer that I'm finding on these interwebs is a young lady who was on American Idol in 2014. Her name is Malaya Watson. Yeah, that's who it is.
Okay, yeah, Malaya Watson. All right, cool.
Yep. Her Instagram is Malaya Tina B.
Wow, she is super young in this picture. And her only song out is "When I Was Your Man" from being top 10 American Idol.
Mm-hmm. In 2014.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, she's only 22 now. She's super young now. But she's from Southfield, Michigan. So shout out to that young lady.
She probably just got out that damn American Idol contract.
Oh Lord, damn it, Simon! Let the kids cook, bro.
Damn 10-year contracts, man.
Where is Ruben Suttard? All right. Tech from Smith & Wesson also dropped an EP called Pandemic because what else would you call it?
Yeah, I heard.
You heard the project?
No, I heard that he put it out.
No. And you boycotted it because it was called Pandemic?
I'm just used to people putting out corny songs about pandemic and quarantine. I just said it on my Twitter. I said, if I get one more song in my inbox called Quarantine Bay, I'm going to snap.
Wow. You should put them all together on one like EP, like how they do reggae rhythms. Make them a playlist. Make a Quarantine Bay playlist, please, sis. I want to hear all of them, but I want to just like play them back to back. I just want to let them play. You do that for me?
What is he? What name? I gotta get away from you. Hold on. But because he was just on the 1982 Quarantine album. He put out his own Quarantine album?
His own, because I don't know. I think SAG Selectors from Queens. It's different out there.
What is he going by these days?
Tech. He's Tech. TEK. Because, they had to change that. You remember? I mean, no, they were always Tech and Steel. It's just a group with Smith & Wesson.
Oh, yeah. No, but I've seen him under like Techie Lie or some other random name or whatever. Because, I mean, old folks don't understand branding.
Lil Fame is on this EP. They just got done doing a project together not too long ago. Trife Diesel, Dark Low, Drawzilla.
Yeah, okay, that's where it is. My man Draws did a record for him.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's how you knew that this was.
I'm like, how did I know this thing happened? Oh yeah, my OG Draws did a record.
Mm-hmm. So that's out there, and then keeping it New York on the complete opposite end of the New York spectrum. Fabio Foreign dropped an EP called 800 BC before Corona. Let me out, bro. Let me go.
So all right, cool. So I listened to Fabio. First of all, I love Fabio. I'm just gonna keep it 100% gangster. I really, really, really enjoy this project. I like his vocal texture. I really do. Like I really enjoy every song, but it's just something about the way, like his delivery. It's real gritty. It's real slick. Like every joint was like dope. I mean, like I really like this project, and it was short and to the point. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like his big record. He did the remix with I believe it was Baby and Quavo, and that was Big Drip. But he's got a joint, and let me get this because I need to get this name right, and it's called Wetty. Do you know what a Wetty is? Because it's a noun. A Wetty is his name for, I guess, a lady. You're a Wetty.
Oh God, I'm so happy that I'm not in my 20s and dating these boys nowadays. What? I'm a what?
A Wetty.
Oh, cuss nigga out so fast.
When New York people make shit up, dog. Like,
there's this. I saw this. Somebody made this dubbed over some Arthur cartoons, and it was like basically what dating is like in New York, and just all of the lingo was so much like. Just so much. But please tell your New Yorkers, tell your sons and your little cousins not to call chicks Wetties. Please.
The video is fire. They got a video for Wetty, I believe. Yeah, that New York slang is different, but nah, I wasn't really a big I was trying to get with the Brooklyn drill thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a whole a whole conversation about that. I think I can get with. I can get with Fabio. A lot of his production comes from those same London cats. A lot of the cats from Pop Smoke was using as well. Axel Beats,
Mm-hmm.
and 808 Mello, who did a large portion of pop stuff. So he's got a joint on here with Meek Mill, Demons and Goblins. The slang is crazy. I respect the slang. He's got a joint called Ambition with Lil TJ, but I really like this project.
He has a song called what?
It's called Ambition with Lil TJ.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other one is Demons and Goblins, and the way he uses the term demons and goblins is pretty cool. They got a little swag with it. So it's short. It's only 8 tracks, but and the 8 track is the Big Drip remix. Big Drip was like his big hit song, and he did the remix with Lil Baby and Quavo. So
okay, something fun for the kids. All right. Last week's albums. Let's run through them right quick. Last week was a decent album release week. I really thought last week was going to be the week where I got back to listening to albums, and it didn't happen. I listened to Stalley, and I listened to John Connor, who dropped on Monday. Who, full disclosure, is my client, so I was going to listen to it anyway. And as such, I will absolve myself from reviewing that project. But it's a really easy one for us to put on the credit check because John produced 80% of it. Shouts to John Connor on that. I feel like I lost his. I'm looking at the wrong screen.
I'm here.
He's got features on there from Kelly Price, Jaron Benton and DJ Paul and Locksmith on one song, and that song sounds like DJ Paul produced it, but John Connor actually did. He's got another song called The Cypher with Afro Ace Gabbana, who Ace Gabbana is an artist who actually is signed to John Connor's label. Terminology, Kid Vicious, Crib Webby, Daylight. I still don't know how to pronounce that man's name. Anyway, a lot of bars, as you could imagine, on that one song. And then the rest of the features are artists Dizzy Wright, also on a song called Morning Motivation. And then all the other features on there are artists who are signed to John Connor's imprint, which is called All Varsity Music Group. And John Connor says that he is really looking forward to the day where he can just be a producer and help other artists get their music together.
I really, really, really enjoyed the record Black.
Yes.
With Sister Tour, that joint was super dope. And I'm always here for a bunch of rappers rapping. So the Cypher joint was definitely dope. Kid Vicious is, that's
Royce's brother.
Royce's brother. He sounds like him.
Yeah.
But that joint was pretty solid too. So shout out to John, man. I wish him well. He's a very dope dude. I got to be around him a couple years ago when he was working on some stuff in LA. I really want to see him do well.
So who else dropped last week? Wait, you were excited about Kali Uchis?
I was, and she dropped an EP, and it is called "To Feel Alive," and the cover it looks like like a Barbie and Ken doll naked, and there's some fellatio going on.
Oh goodness!
The theme of the project, I guess, is she wants to feel alive. So she's got Honey Baby, Angel, I Want War But I Need Peace, and To Feel Alive. And it's a cool record. Her voice is super, super her texture is interesting on these tracks. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay.
You gotta hear, when you hear it, as soon as you hear it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the songs are high pitched and her voice is high pitched. So you got these high pitched things happening at the same time.
All right. I'll make sure I'm in the right mind frame to listen to that then. K Camp dropped KISS 5, which you said you missed 1 through 4.
I sure did, and I missed 5.
Excuse me, you missed 5? You didn't listen?
Nope.
He's got a song on here called Tatted Up featuring Fabo. that feels like it bears listening to.
Wow. Didn't Fabo just get into a beef with somebody about who started snap music or whatever?
I'm sure he did. Well, no, it wasn't him. It was actually somebody else from D4. One of the guys from D4L who is not Fabo or Shawty Low, whose name we don't know any fucking way, and Parlay from them franchise boys.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I don't know why this is a fight that people feel like needs to happen, but that's what's happening.
What I did listen to was Guap Dad's EP.
I don't know how you ain't tell me Guap Dad dropped an EP.
I mean, it's a
I
collection
thought we were his godparents together.
So it's literally a collection of we kind of missed it. And I just had to hit Young Darren and say, yo, what happened to Guap? It's a collection of the songs that we've been playing and listening to the past 4 weeks.
Okay.
So it's not anything that we missed. Like literally, I knew all the joints already. So, you know, my favorite being Platinum Falcon with the bitch, I'm a scammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So yeah, no, it's Platinum Falcon, which he produced with
really
Akeem Hayes, Greedy, Dolce and Gabbana, Dalai Lama, Embezzle featuring Jigga Juice, Peanut Butter Pootie Tang, and
I love the names of these songs.
And Trade Places with Them Jeans.
I really feel it, which he just dropped the video for that this week. I really feel like Guap Dad is the rap embodiment of just Ghostface's aura back when he used to have the gold eagle bracelet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
like, not Ghostface himself, but if that persona had like separated from Ghostface's body and had a kid, it would be Guap Dad.
But I'm gonna tell you, even like with his raps, like he raps that slick. Like he's got like his own lingo, his own vibe. Like that's why I think he's gonna be such a great artist. He's gonna be around for a long time because his angle is his angle. Like that's him. You know what I mean? Like the thing that he's doing, I don't really get that from nobody else.
And did you check out the Alina? Say her last name because you just taught me last week that I don't know how to say her last name.
I don't know how to say it either. But we're gonna go with Alina Baraz. Let's go Baraz. I did, yeah. No, I definitely did. My favorite joint was "Give Me the Will" with Shmino. She's got a really good joint with Khaled also called "Off the Grid."
Khalid or Khaled?
Khalid. Is that it? See, I always get them mixed up. DJ Khaled, Khalid. I be trying too hard not to say people's names wrong. It's a really good R&B project. Super solid. She's got a track with Nas on here as well.
Oh yeah.
The homie Demal on the production. Gritty Gittleman, Cassie Grigsby. It seems like she's got some of the cast that I've seen on her projects as well. So yeah, Shay Taylor, Spencer Stewart, Robin Hannibal. It's a really good joint, but the joint with Shmino is dope. She also got a joint with Black in here.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
All right, you guys. It is May.
That happened quickly.
Very quickly. This year is a whole, just a lot. Like, I think we started off this show, our very first episode was talking about how long of a year 2019 was. And 2020 was like, oh yeah, hold my beer. And here we are. So Friday is May 1st. Tomorrow, May 1st. Apparently Ace Hood is dropping an EP.
Good for him.
It's called Self-Preservation.
No, he's another one of those guys, man. A really dope MC. Just kind of got lost in the shuffle. You know.
Yeah. JoJo is dropping an album, and I've heard really good things about it. Now, I've heard really good things about it from people on her label within her camp, but it's JoJo, so I'm not really expecting for it not to be some shit after all this time.
Well, we know JoJo's talented, so
right.
You don't get to be in the industry for this long. I feel like her and what's homegirl's name, who's also been in the industry since she was like 12. The one who keeps going, Demi Lovato.
Yeah,
I feel like JoJo and Demi. Was JoJo in Dream?
No, JoJo's been around from before that. I think JoJo was just a solo artist from Jump.
I'm gonna have to do the research on that, but I feel like they've been around for as long as like I can remember, with like 2006. but it's like children, and they've had so many chances when everybody else is like either just gone away completely or whatever. I just feel like those two just can't die.
JoJo's debut single was Leave, which was a big single when it came out. And when she dropped it, she became the youngest solo artist in the history to top the chart at the age of 13. To top the Billboard Pop Songs chart. So that song came out in 2004. So she's older than Demi Lovato. Well, they might be the same age, but she's been out longer than Demi Lovato and all that. But yeah, no, she was always solo. She had that dream record. And I think she just fell into that. Like, we talked about that box where they couldn't really figure out what to do with these young female artists. So it's her, Avril Lavigne, somebody else I just thought of that just popped in my head and popped right back out. But it was a whole group of them where they had these massive hits and then they couldn't, the labels or whomever couldn't figure out what to do with them.
I don't want to just throw young white girls who can sing and all into the same box. But Dream was signed to Bad Boy.
No, I remember Dream. I remember Dream's single.
Yeah, that was
Burns. Kenny Burns was like the A&R on their project or something.
Oh, no. Sabe Burnett, my cousin's cousin, found them. And they're like best friends, him and Kenny.
Nice.
That was like academics days,
Yeah. Now I remember Dream. And that's why I felt like JoJo was around a little bit before Dream.
Was she? Because Dream was around pretty early. I kind of feel like they all were like the early 2000s.
No, they were early 2000s, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember her as a solo artist.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't remember, like, Dream and then somebody breaking off.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I couldn't remember. Like, that's why I said I don't want to just throw them all in. Because Demi came from, she was Disney. So
she was Disney.
Yeah.
Sorry. So she's coming out with a project. JoJo's project is called Good to Know. Mahalia, who is another singer from the UK.
Oh, I love her.
She's dropping a 3-song EP also on Friday. So Friday is EP day. I don't see a whole lot of, not urban anyway, a whole lot of full-length albums. And then, for the rest of the month, we have E40, Bishop Nehru, Lil Durk, Coda the Fiend, who I enjoy, Kehlani, Haley, the wrong Haley Williams. That's the girl from Paramore, right?
Yep.
Deontay Hitchcock, Bon Jovi, we talked about that before, Charlie XCX, who I'm still not confused. I'm still not sure that's a guy or girl.
That's a girl. Come on.
I don't know. Listen, man, at least I'm honest about the things I don't know, bro. I could be out here acting like I know shit. At least I will tell y'all I don't fucking know. Weezer.
She's another UK singer. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard a song. It's just like I said, I think the song I heard, she was probably on with a guy. And I just never knew which one of them was which. And then we're going to close out the month with Diplo and Flying Lotus. And hopefully some more folks that will announce some things or just drop some things out of nowhere on us between now and then.
I'm sure it'll happen because people have nothing else to do but go live still.
Oh, and apparently record videos together because that's what Young Gerald did this week. Young Gerald has a song with, I'm talking about G-Eazy, you guys. I'm sorry. I call him Young Gerald for 2 reasons. One, because I think it's really, really funny that that's his drop, is that he says Young Gerald. And 2, because when I met G-Eazy, I met him on an elevator. And the way that he was dressed and plus the way that he looked in general, I assumed he was somebody's manager and not an artist. And I introduced myself because I was, part of the PR team for this event that he was performing at. And so I introduced myself and he introduced himself as Gerald. And so I thought that that's who, I just thought he was somebody's manager named Gerald.
I can't.
Listen, he looked very Leave It to Beaver that day. But he has a song with Jack Harlow called Moana. And
like the movie?
Yeah, like the movie. Or maybe Girls of Pacific Island Descent. But the video is literally like, it looks like a live or of some sort. House party, Zoom, something.
Oh, okay. So
it's pretty cool.
I just think it's interesting how we're legit turning live feeds into actual TV content.
Yeah.
I watched. I'm watching my favorite athletes play each other in various video games. So I got sucked in. I'm sorry. I tried.
Well, the good thing is, from what I can tell of the store shelves, when I've tried to go and buy 2 5-pound weights just because I needed smaller weights than the weights I have at the house and I couldn't find any, is that we're all working out, so we're not in any danger of turning into the blob humans from the movie Wall-E. In case we never go back outside,
Well,
we're not in danger of just being fat.
What I did find is that we forgot to mention this. The other guy in Moana, not the movie, but the video, is Zaytoven.
Oh, right. That's what it was. Because it's not for whatever reason, when you pull up the YouTube, it's not showing me that Zaytoven is in there. But I know that when I saw the little clip, like the little still of the video, I saw him in there. But he's not credited on the song.
Well, he's the producer.
Oh, see, the video has all the production credits for the video.
Right, yeah. So,
that's
the record is produced by the homie Zaytoven. Shout out to Zaytoven.
Hey. All right, you guys. That's the show for this week. We're still in the house, but we want to shout out 12 Music Group, our recording home.
We also want to shout out So Icy Entertainment. Come on.
Do we?
You couldn't start singing that song without me following up.
Oh, because I said Zay Teasy.
Quarter break,
half a break. Oh, break. All right. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you have to have those classic moments in hip hop. Like, what nothing? Nobody know what the hell anybody said. No, I'm sorry. I'll take that back because I know somebody knows all of Gucci's verses and all of OJ's verses.
I do.
Back and in between.
That's me.
I just know through the I'm booking part. That's all I got.
I'm serving all the babies.
Yeah, I don't.
Easy but the dope. Yeah.
I don't have any of that. Again, you guys, the show comes to you every Thursday. It is a vocal iteration of the credit check section on the website, which you can check out tonight for all the new releases that are coming out this Friday, because Sis and his team do their thing. They get busy and they have all these credits up for you as soon as they're out. And then the chopping block, man, listen, we're going to find a way to bring that back.
We're going to do video chopping blocks.
Well, I mean, we're going to bring it back. We're just going to say we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back in May. And then we can just, we'll figure out the rest of it from there. But yes, I don't want to give nobody no ideas. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I just want to thank everybody who's been listening. Like, a lot of y'all check in with us. Y'all let us know what we've been talking about. We super, super, super appreciate the consistency. We appreciate the support. Let us know what you guys want to hear. Let us know what you feel. Give us feedback, man. It's super important to us.
Oh, and you guys, we want a theme song. So
yeah,
make us a theme song.
Produce a chopping block theme song.
Being that we are, primarily a platform that is primarily in support of producers as well as songwriters, but I think it started with producers. It could be all instrumental, and I think we'd be okay with that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you have ideas, run them by us. Let's figure it out. But I think we need a theme song at this point.
Yeah, no, I want to hear some. Give me a hook. Make us feel good.
Maybe I can get skills to do. No, I'm not even gonna. Look, guys, we need a theme song. Figure something out. Help us out. Help us make it happen. The email is thechopblockpod@gmail.com, and you can find us everywhere on social media at the Chop Block Pod, except on Instagram, where we are at Chop Block Pod. And we're gonna figure out how to do a show on live for you guys one day soon. It's gonna be one show though, my nigga. Don't expect that to be. I'm not doing that shit with you niggas every freaking week. I'm not. But we'll do it one time. We'll do like a fun pop-up video version of the chopping block where we can incorporate your questions and your commentary as we're doing what we're doing.
Pop-up video.
I'm that old. Shout to Anatomē, our producer, for keeping us together and keeping us on track and making sure that we don't ramble on for hours and hours and hours. and creating us some amazing little social media fun things that we can start sharing with you guys in between shows.
Mm-hmm.
He is at Scissor215 on all social media platforms.
And she is at Saint Boogie everywhere but Facebook. And don't be looking for me on Facebook either, because I'm tired of y'all sending me requests to my real name. You don't know me like that. You don't know her like that.
You feel me? Do you understand? Quick story. I asked Facebook for a mofongo recipe, and my thing was public, and somebody legit jumped in the comments and asked me if I needed quality graphics, quality artwork. I said, for my mofongo, for my dinner?
Too much.
So this is why. Y'all, please don't find me. I mean, you can find me on Facebook, and you'll just be sitting there in that request forever and a day. But I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. I love, talking to y'all there. And of course, the brand is at iStandard, and we are out until next week. Keep washing your hands and covering your mouths and stay your ass in the crib, bruh.
Put your mask on when you go outside.
Please.